Hi everybody, welcome back to MyFIntelligence. Today we're doing another episode of Day in the Life with Natasha. Super duper excited. Thank you so much for being here, Natasha. Could you give us a little introduction about yourself and what you did over the summer?
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Natasha, and I'm a third-year student at the University of Toronto in the Rotman Commerce program. Over the summer, I worked at Cibc as a sales and trading analyst at Cibc World Markets. So at Cibc, in the sales and trading section, there are multiple divisions. So I worked in the Canadian government credit strategy, and that is under a bigger umbrella, which is the FIC strategy, and that stands for fixed incomes, currency, and commodity.
Can you start off with telling us a little bit more about what your desk does in general?
So my desk specifically focuses on research. So we create research for both internal and external clients, and the other desks use this research to then provide trading solutions and other ideas for their clients.
Awesome. And how did you contribute to the team as an intern?
So as an intern, I worked on a lot of different research reports, specifically on bond issuers in Canada. So this ranged from federal government issuers, municipal issuers, pension funds, things like that. So every day I typically worked on different research reports and would work with other teams to come up with different types of research that we could put out.
Awesome. And when you made these research reports, were you given some sort of a template or guide to tell you how to make these reports, or was it really all on you to determine how to best present this research?
So the majority of them are already made templates. So I would just update them for the week or the month or the newest edition that we needed to put out. But I was also responsible for kind of making my own. So if there was a particular event that we needed to disclose, I was responsible for really just writing what I thought needed to be put in this research report, and I worked with my team to come up with new research that we could put out.
So when doing all the research, what platforms in particular did you use? Were you, using Bloomberg, Excel, or, what applications? And if you could give us a little breakdown on that.
So we used particularly Bloomberg, and I did most of the graphs and any of the analysis on Excel. I also used Capital IQ and other rating agencies, so we used the data from there. For other things, I also used the Bank of Canada, so I used their website. And for something that I couldn't find, I would directly call the issuers and ask them to give me the data. So I also had to contact other different people, call them by the phone, email them to get data that maybe wasn't disclosed on their website.
That's really cool that you can just call them up and ask for this information.
Yeah.
So I guess now to move on a bit about your work-life balance, can you tell us a bit about when you would generally start the day and when you would generally end the day?
So I had pretty good hours. I would work between 8 to 5. It really depended on the day. Maybe sometimes if I couldn't finish up for the day, I would stay longer, but it was pretty set. So I really liked that about the job.
Did the job ever get a little bit overwhelming or stressful, or, too many projects due at one time? And if so, how did you mitigate that and handle it?
It definitely depended on the week. Some weeks were a lot more busier than others if there was a specific deadline that I had to meet. And how I was able to cope with that is I just really made sure that I allocated my time wisely and focused on what was more important. So if some deadline was coming up sooner, I would focus on that project and then maybe move my attention to another project once I'm finished that.
What was something that you really liked, and what was something that you didn't really love or maybe disliked about the job?
So something that I really liked about working on this desk was that I learned a lot. So specifically working with Canadian issuers, I had no really prior knowledge to what Canadian issuers do and about the bond market. So I really liked how I had the opportunity to, by doing all of this research, I myself learned what's going on in the world and in finance and capital markets and everything. What I didn't like too much about the job was probably it wasn't as fast-paced as other jobs in particular. So if there was one research report that we were working on, we would devote all of our time on that. However, I liked it at the same time because there was a balance. Like I really enjoyed the work-life balance, but maybe if it was more fast-paced.
Great. And I guess to finish things off, is there one last piece of advice that you could give to someone who wants to have a position in sales and trading, maybe specifically at the desk that you worked at this summer?
So a piece of advice that I would give is to make sure that you do a lot of research on current events and what's going on, especially during COVID times. Data and everything that was going on in the world was so fast changing that you always had to keep up with what was going on in the news. So really make sure that you have a well-rounded knowledge on current events.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Natasha, for being with us and sharing all this great information. If you want to know how Natasha actually landed the job, make sure to check out her land the job video. And again, thank you so much and see you guys next time. Bye.